Hello everyone, I welcome you all to this 30 days masterclass series on electric vehicle design using MATLAB Simulink. Today is day 4, power calculation for EV applications and MATLAB Simulink experiments we are going to do in this live session. So I welcome you all once again. I welcome Manoj, Vani, welcome, very good evening. Iqbal, Maya, Jagdish, Rakesh, Mayuri, welcome Guru, welcome Srinu Budi, Sheikh Rahul, Ashwini, welcome Jayabalan, Rahul Sharma, Abhishek Sholanki, welcome. Very good evening, Mohammed, Gautam, welcome Gautam, welcome Pushpendra Singh, good evening, Karthik, hello, hi everyone, Blackmore, Cheta Vani, hello. Welcome participants. Please don't spam the chat. Once again, I welcome you all. About me, my research area is advanced powertronics and renewable energy, special electrical machines, and electric vehicle design and power supply design. This is my research area. You can get any support on this. If you have any project requirement, you please submit your inquiry in this Google form which is given in the video descriptions. So I will try to give you the solutions. And about the Pantech is an educational equipment manufacturer for EEE, ECE, computer science, and then IoT related products. And also you can get, we help you to build your own project, and at the same time we have a technical training, high-end technical training. So in this scheme, we are going to help you to create a 10 projects within a year. So if you have any more requirements about these two requirements, then you please submit this inquiry form which is given in the Google this video description box, and we will give you the solutions. Thank you. Increase your volume. Am I audible now? Increase the volume. Am I audible now? From my side, yes. Very good evening. Am I audible now? Can you please comment? Am I audible now? Please comment. Yeah, thank you, participants. Yes, thank you. So now our vision is to help 10 million students to learn this technology in easy way. So far, we have trained 1.5 lakh students. So on this vision, we are going to schedule our next. We are going to release two more 30-day session like AI and Raspberry Pi and Arduino. So you please keep engaged with our entire social media platform to get those informations. And announcement, you will get a Google form at 7:30 p.m. So please don't forget to submit your form. So that form will be available till 8:30 or 9 o'clock only, and after that the form will get closed. So please watch this video before 9 o'clock. And you have to submit minimum 25 days attendance to get a webinar participation certificate. I think actually already we have shared this information in Google email as well as the WhatsApp group, and by WhatsApp messages also. And even this webinar also I have informed so many times, but still people are lagging these things. So you have to submit minimum 25 days attendance to get a webinar participation certificate. For internship people, no need to submit this attendance form, because they can get an internship certificate from their portal itself. Once if they finish the 30 days class, then immediately they can download their certificate from their dashboard itself. And we have a 30 days internship agenda. So you just check this detailed agenda in this video link, video description box, as well as you can find that link to enroll it. And batch 1 is going to start from today onwards. Just use this coupon code to get a discount. batch 1 give it. This is the coupon code. So you just check this coupon code from our portal. So the portal link is available in this video description box. And so let us move to the content. Today we are going to discuss power requirement and how to calculate the power, and then motor control, how to control the motor, and what is the necessity to control the motor, and what is a drive cycle, and MATLAB example. So these 4 points we have scheduled this today topic. I hope you have enjoyed this past 3 days classes. Have you installed the MATLAB in your computer? If you are yes, please comment in the comment box installed. If you have installed the MATLAB in your comment box, in your laptop, so please comment in the comment box installed. Yes, thank you. Yeah, thank you participants. Suppose if you are not yet installed, please try to install the software, because actually hereafter we are going to work more on the MATLAB. Yeah, thank you. Installed. Great. Karthik, you have not installed. Please try to install. And Kohiluno, yeah, Kohiluno Gaming not installed. Moshak Tiwari not installed. Yeah, Mosh Tiwari, please try to install. And those who are all not able to install, please WhatsApp me. I will try to give you the video, or else you just directly go to YouTube and then type in the search MATLAB free software installation, a trial software installation. Yeah, thank you. Your point has been noted, Mr. Nitish. I will go slow by very slow manner while we teaching the MATLAB. Thank you. Great, yes. Some libraries are missing. Suppose if you are missing the libraries, don't worry. Just to go to MATLAB. Go to MATLAB and click here the add-ons, and click here this add-ons and search whatever you want the toolboxes. So for that you should know what is a toolbox name. So if you search the toolbox name, then directly you can install the toolbox to your computer. So you don't worry about it. So MATLAB older version, that is less than 2012, it won't work. So better keep any latest version like 2020 or 2021 or 19B or 19B. That is worst case 19B you should have. So else just have a free trial in the Google, so you can get those things. Yeah, still you are facing sound low. Yes. So now am I audible? Now is it? Are you comfortable with my sound? Yeah, Mr. Nipun Bansal. Now is it okay? MATLAB and Simulink both are required. Yes, thank you. So yes, thank you. So now let us move to the calculations. See, as we know that already we have calculated the motor power. Already we have calculated the motor power, and see again here. See in this. Just a second. I will take an Excel sheet. See here now we have to calculate whether our calculated power is sufficient to accelerate to reach this to reach the maximum speed and specified time. So for that one, so you have to ensure the acceleration power. So the power required to calculate to achieve the maximum acceleration time. So in that case, you should have a two acceleration power. So one is called linear acceleration and then angular acceleration. See, generally and the angular acceleration you have to calculate it, and the linear acceleration, so it's due to the gravitational acceleration, so the factor will get added. So in that case, so you can directly take a 5 to 10% of the angular acceleration will be the linear acceleration. Right, sorry, 5 to 10% of the linear acceleration will be an angular acceleration. So in that case, now you have to calculate how much the linear acceleration is there. So for linear acceleration, there is a formula. Already we have discussed these formulas. So those who are missed the class, then please refer the day 3 and the day 2 classes. So there you can get it. So now we have to calculate how much power is utilized for the initial time. Like see here, if your vehicle will start from the zero speed only, right? And see here, the vehicle will start from the zero speed at any point of time. And once if the speed is reached maximum, so once if the speed is reached maximum, then it will rotate on the critical speed. See here, during this period, so generally we can call it as a transient period. As per the vehicle requirement, so generally the driver will increase the speed for some time, and then he will apply a brake for some time, and again he will increase the vehicle speed for some time. So this condition will keep on rotating. So in that case, how much power is utilized while you apply acceleration from its initial position? So first we have to ensure whether that power is capable to reach the maximum speed. So in that case, so first you have to take up power. So power is nothing but it's a work done over a period of time. So here we are going to calculate this power consumption during this period. Right, so it's a difference of kinetic energy. So the formula is P is equal to omega divided by T. So the T is nothing but the over period of time. So the omega is half mv squared. So it's a very well known formula. So we are going to take that one, and if you apply this one, then the final acceleration will be about, that is the initial acceleration and then the final acceleration. So that is the time period. So what is, it's a maximum time period. So in that case, if you apply that power, then you may get a you can get a power value. See, if you take this Excel sheet, actually already we have calculated the total tractive force with the help of rolling resistance and then aerodynamic drag force and then hill climbing force. So now we are going to calculate, we are going to ensure the calculated power will capable to handle this acceleration force or not. Right? Suppose if you calculated this power for this range of vehicle, 1000 kg weight, and then 1 to 1.5 meter dimensions of the vehicle, and 40 km per hour. So you have calculated so and so data, right? So now we have achieved the vehicle can run 40 km even though if it is a hill climbing up to 10 degree. So for that one we need a 18 kilowatt motor power, right? So 18 kilowatt motor power. So now the point is, suppose if you are going to climb, my vehicle can reach this maximum speed within a particular time period. See, for example, if you take a 20 seconds, and then velocity of the vehicle is 11.11 meter per second. So that is a 40 km per hour to meter per second conversion. Now the vehicle mass of the vehicle weight, so that is as per our calculations 1000 kg. Right? So if you apply 1000 kg, so this is the actual requirement. That is that during the acceleration from its standstill position, the vehicle power requirement is 3 kilowatt it's going to consume. So in that case, suppose if you are going to reduce the time period, so instead of 20 seconds, suppose if you are going to decide the vehicle should reach within 10 seconds. So if you reduce it 10 seconds, then this is the power consumption. So this calculated power should be higher than this power. Then only you can get a exact performance. Otherwise, the performance will get low. So this is simple calculations. So just to keep in your mind while you design your motor power calculations, right? So you can download this Excel sheet from the LMS portal. Those who are all interested in the internship, they can get. And I recommend you everyone. So please go through this detailed Excel sheet, or else prepare your own Excel sheet with this various dimensions of the vehicle and calculate the formulas and then calculate the motor power. So whenever you got the motor power calculations, then only you can proceed further on the electric vehicle design. And here we are going to discuss about the torque and then speed and current consumption, voltage consumption. So everything we are going to discuss in detail. So I recommend you everyone. So please prepare this Excel sheet. Say actually for the YouTubers, you can use this webinar to prepare this Excel sheet. Whereas the internship people can download this Excel sheet from the internship portal. So like that you have to calculate this one. And see here, if you take the same value, same graph, so 12 seconds, and then weight is, suppose if you get 185 kilogram. So in that case, 951 watts power is going to consume during the acceleration. Similarly, for the deceleration, again you can generate this power with the help of regenerative circuit mechanisms. So for that one, we can save the power to the battery source. This is simple arithmetic calculations, right? So now once if you generated the power, you have calculated the power, then how you can implement in this vehicle systems. See, generally the vehicle, first for that one you should know the vehicle architecture. So how this vehicle, electric vehicle has been implemented, right? So for that one, initially the electric energy will be there and motor drive will be there. So from this electrical energy, the motor will generate a mechanical energy. So with the help of mechanical energy, then the vehicle will get moved from its standstill position. Similarly, in this electric vehicle, so there are some additional block diagrams. So again, we will discuss in detail about each and every block diagram on forthcoming classes. So this is just for your overall idea. So how it will be and what all the blocks will be there. All right. See here, this is the electric motor will receive a power. This is a battery via the power electronic converter, right? So this power electronic converter is going to give you the accurate power to activate or to reach the to deliver the certain level speed with the torque, right? So because the electric vehicle, if you take a Tesla vehicle, so that the Tesla vehicle in the autonomous mode, the vehicle error ratio is about 0.01 percentage. Suppose if you are taking that distance like 1 meter or 2 meter, so the accuracy of the controller, that is a positioning, so will be like 0.01 percentage. So in that case, if you are claiming my vehicle error ratio is 0.01 percentage, in the sense you should this power electronic circuit should generate exact voltage with current and with current. So then only your motor will work on specified efficiency. Otherwise, the efficiency will be either high or low. So in that case, we cannot claim that error resolutions. So that is the usage of the power electronics converter circuit. So for this to generate the exact voltage and the current, here the controller is going to generate a control signal. So again, this controller is a like acceleration as well as that brake. So based on these two input data, the controller is going to generate it. Again, everything will be in the microcontroller. So this part and this part will be the microcontroller part. So remaining everything will be the power electronic circuit. So now let us check how this driver signal is going to vary. See here, if you take a load power, see how this power vary. See, generally there will be an average power. So here the average power nothing but the entire averages of the dynamic power. See here, this is the dynamic power and this is the average power. See here, this power may vary based on your drive cycle. So the driver will give acceleration for a certain period, and then he will apply a brake for a certain period. So based on its driving style, he will change the variable. So whenever he changes in the acceleration with the brake, similarly the powertronic circuit will respond based on this input. So in that case, the power load power may vary. So here in the powertronic circuit. So you see, generally in the powertronic terminology, so this is called peak power, right? Suppose if you are climbing, your vehicle is about 30 kilowatt motor power. So in that case, if the condition is, if your vehicle is fully loaded, right? If your vehicle is fully loaded and if your vehicle is at rated critical speed, so in that case, the powertronic circuit will work under the peak power. So under this area, so under this peak power. Similarly, if you are running under that rate critical speed with very less load, so in that case, the circuit will work under the low power mode. So if you take this average, then you can get an average load power. Alright, and so this is called the drive signal. So based on this drive signal, we can generate a controlled PWM. So here only the PWM technology, that is called pulse width modulation technology, is going to involve to generate a proper controlling powertrain circuits. So now how this can be worked? See here, generally in the hybrid vehicle, so there are the two mechanisms. One is called IC engine mechanism and the another one is called hybrid electric vehicle mechanisms. So in the series hybrid, ultimately the electric motor only going to give the transmission power, but this motor will get a power from the battery source as well as the IC engine source. See here, the power, this IC engine power has transferred to the electric side, and after that only it's going to apply a transmission side, right? So this is called the series hybrid. Similarly, parallel hybrid. So both the power will directly connected to the transmission systems, right? So based on the power availability, availability of the source, then the vehicle can move. And similarly, the series and parallel hybrid. See here, either the entire system will work on either series mode or else the parallel mode. So these are all some basic concepts to understand how the vehicle will be, right? And in the electric vehicle architecture, so there will be a simple mechanisms, the transmission mechanism and motor and then power converter. Generally we can call it as this is called E motor, and this is called a powertrain inverter. This is powertrain inverter and battery. In the electric vehicle system, one more battery will be there. This is called a high power battery. So generally this is called a high power battery, and similarly low power battery also will be there. So this is for auxiliary power supplies for your additional requirements like a power window and light applications and other all the applications. This low power battery will work. For high power battery, dedicatedly for the motor control applications. So now let us move to the detailed manner. See here how the controlling mechanism will be varied. See, this is the steering wheel. So based on the steering wheel, the steering mechanism will generate a control signal. At the same time, the driver's input also will generate a control mechanism. So this electric motor will respond based on these two PWM input, right? So whenever these two inputs changes, similarly the electric motor also is going to vary. So like that, the power flow is going to happen. So in the inside the motor. So now we have to we should know what is the power electronics. As of now, we have learned, we heard about power electronics. But what is the power electronics? Do you have any idea about the power electronics? So can you please comment in the comment box? What is power electronics? So what is the power electronics? So do you have, can you please comment in the comment box? So simply you can understand the power electronics is a solid state electronics to control and convert the power. See for example, if you are having 230 voltage, right? So in your home there will be the wall socket will be the 230 voltage, and your ceiling fan can vary with different speed. Yeah, thank you participants. Thanks for your yeah, someone has failed in the power electronics. You don't worry, I will give you the clear picture about the power electronics. So you just simply follow this next 5 classes. We are going to discuss only about the power electronics. So we can easily understand what is the power electronics and then how we can implement in the MATLAB. So everything I will give you the clear picture. So just my recommendation for you everyone, so just follow the class. Just if you invest your 45 minutes on daily basis, then definitely I ensure that you will become a master in this particular concepts as per the given topics, right? So see here, let us discuss about the power electronics. See here, if you are in your home, you will have a 230 voltage AC, but your ceiling fan can run in the different speed. Okay, so the different speed, how we are achieving the different speed? If you apply 230 voltage directly, the speed will be the maximum. And if you apply half of the voltage, like at 230 divided by 2, like 115 voltage, so in that case half of the speed will be there. Like if it is at 700 rpm, so here it will be 350 rpm if you apply a half of the voltage. And similarly, if you apply less, quarter of 1/4 of the voltage or 1/3 of the voltage, so in that case you have to apply like 50 to 60 voltage approximately. Again here the speed also may vary. Like how you are going to vary this voltage? So 230 to direct 230 and 230 to 115 and 60 voltage. Let us take a 60 voltage. So now the point is we have to develop one black box. So this black box should generate 60 voltage for some instance and 115 voltage for some instance and then 230 voltage for some instance. But the input, the single input is a 230 voltage. So generally we can call it as a black box. So inside the black box, so there will be a switch. Either simply we can for understanding purpose just to take the mechanical switch which is available on your wall socket. So if you turn on, then straight away the circuit will get connected. If you turn on this wall socket switch, if you turn on that one, this this open port can be connected with the other end. So the 230 voltage straight away will get connected to the output side, right? Instead of the mechanical switches. So here like this is the mechanical switch. So I will show you one. Just go to Google, WITCH switch. Yeah, see here, this is the mechanical switch. So this switch, if you turn on this switch, then the connection will get established for the between these 2 points. Similarly, you have a electronics. This is a mechanical switch. Similarly, you have a solid state electronics. Solid state electronics nothing but the semiconductor based switches. So I will tell you one by one on the forthcoming classes. So now you just keep in your mind semiconductor, right? So in the terminology name will be like a diode, thyristors, MOSFETs, IGBTs, GTOs, SiC MOSFETs, and then GaN devices. So there are a lot of devices are there. Based on the power handling, the people will have to choose on their particular circuit. So that solid state electronics is going to give you the variable output voltages. So simply here we can convert this voltage from either AC. If you are taking AC, then this output also it should be a AC. So we can get a fixed AC to variable AC, and fixed AC to variable DC, and DC to DC, and DC to AC. So any kind of voltage we can get it from the any kind of input format. So for that one we are going to use one black box. That black box is called power electronics. So inside the black box there will be a solid state electronics will be there. So are you clear about the power electronics? If you are clear, please comment in the comment box. Yeah, if you are clear, please comment in the comment box. Yes. So now this is called drive signal. So this block is available in the default MATLAB. So we will use for our further applications. So just keep this 30 days classes. So don't try it here in the present, sir. So please submit your attendance form. Please submit your attendance form to ensure your attendance. So now let us move to the MATLAB introductions. So in this, again you have a 1 month internship option. So for that one, you just use coupon code batch1EV. Batch BATCH 1 EV. So use this coupon code to get a discount. And now we are going to design a MATLAB demonstration. So in this demo, we are going to have two examples. One is called the counter design and another one is called DC motor control. See, what is the counter design, right? So we will discuss one by one. So keep engaged with the entire class. Some people are after attendance, the people are leaving the class. So my strong recommendation, so please attend this second portion so that you can get more idea about the MATLAB. So slowly I'm going to give you the I'm going to add more examples on daily basis. So just to follow this 45 minutes. So if you invest your 45 minutes on a daily basis for next 30 days, definitely you will become a master in this particular concepts. And don't worry about the utterance form. That utterance form will be available in this video live chat and video description box and then comment box after this live. So that form will be available till 8:30 to 9 o'clock. So you don't worry about it. Yes. Why power electronics? Why not switches and step down and step up devices? See, actually with the help of power electronics only you can achieve step up and then step down concepts. Yes. If you have any more questions, please ask me. Yeah, utterance form is available in the top of the chat. So I have pinned the chat, so please check. And this form, the same form will be provided in the video comment box. So you don't worry about it. Yes. Yes, I welcome you counter design program. See here in this counter design program, so we are going to count a number of pulses on the particular time. See here, this is the input for the counter, and this counter needs to count how many pulses are there. See, for example, if you take 10 seconds, so in this 10 seconds, see here the number of pulses like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the 10 pulses is there. So now we are going to design a simple logic to count this count these pulses, right? So are you ready to learn this concept? Yeah, thank you. So let us move to the program. So now the output must be like this. See here, this is the step counting. So it's a keep on counting. So at the same time, we can get an integer value also. So let us move to MATLAB. Let us move to MATLAB. Open the Simulink. Open the Simulink and create a new model. Save the simulation first. Just to take a pulse generator, go to library browser and go to sinks. Go to sources. Here the pulse generator block will be there. So first we have to take a pulse generator block. Yes. So just to take a pulse generator block. And so now let us check how many pulses are there and all. So take a scope to see the output, connect the pulses, and the time is, let us keep it 10 seconds. And similarly we are going to run this pulses for 10 seconds. Sorry, 10 pulses we are going to run in the 10 seconds. So in that case you have to keep the period is 1 second and the pulse width will be the 50%. Just to run the simulation. Yeah. So here we are getting the output for the 10 pulses. We are getting the output for the 10 pulses, right? See here, this 10 pulses. Now we have to count these pulses on the with the help of logics. So for that one, just to take a sum block. There are again few more counting methods also there. So just to take a count sum block and count the pulses. Just add the pulse and take a memory block. Take a memory block and rotate the block. For rotating the component, just you press Ctrl R. Press Ctrl R. And connect here. And now just to take a display block. To take a display block, and here now the counter block is ready. So just run the simulation, you will get some value. So we have to ensure whether are we getting the exact value or not. So for that one, if you are not getting the exact value, then you have to adjust the simulation time, right? So now we are getting the 31 31 is the number of pulses which is applied during this entire time. See here, but actually the input for this one only the 10 pulses, whereas the output shows that 31 pulses. So now you have to change the sample time of the simulations. So how you can change the sample time? Anyone, can you please comment how the sample time can be changed? So now we can change the sample time with the help of model settings. Go to model setting, open the model settings and adjust the solver type. Adjust the solver type, fixed step, choose the fixed step and yes, and open the solver details. See here, you have to change the sample time. See, as per our input, for 1 second, 1 pulse is going to generate. So in that case, the sample time must be less than that 1 second. So in that case, you can keep it 0.5. So its value must be less than less than 1. Suppose if your pulse is going to be on the 0.1 seconds, then here the point not one I mean 0.05 is the sample time. So like that you have to adjust and apply here. Just to save the simulation, and now again we can run the simulation. Now we are getting the 11. So just to remove the number one, remove the subtract, just to repeat the same pulse and then remove subtract one number with the constant, then you can get exact 10 value. Because again, just to take the same scope here, so how we are getting the 11 value? Yeah, see here for each and every interval, so we are getting the one pulse, number of pulses 1, and after that the end of the period the pulse has been started at 10th instant, 10th second, the pulse is shifted from 0 to 1. So that's why we are receiving the 11 value. Otherwise it will shows you only the 10 value, right? So for that you have to correct with the final subtractor, right? So this is the simple counter application. So you please practice this application and then paste the take the output of this program and then paste the output in the comment box, so that we will discuss in detail about the you can ask your questions in the comment box. I will give you the answers. Yes. So now let us move to the DC motor control. Yeah. So now let us move to the DC motor control. See here, this is the block diagram. So in this block diagram, so this is the DC motor. Now we are going to straight away we are going to apply a DC voltage. So we are going to measure what is the speed, and then what is the how the speed is changing from 0 to peak speed and everything. How you have to configure the motor first in the MATLAB Simulink. So for that one, you just go to MATLAB and create a Simulink, create a new model. In this Simulink, you have an option exact physical variable you can apply. So just go to day 4, experiment 3. If you have any questions, you please comment. I will try to give you the answers. Can you schedule your class how to select switches for several applications? Will be useful for some engineers. See again the how to select the switch, that is how to select the MOSFETs and everything is class is scheduled, and I think gate driver selections class. In that class you can check it out. Internship you can pay any mode, so it's not a worry about it. Yeah, Mr. Pradeep, just to attend the gate driver sections, you can get more about these things. Why don't you use geared transmission for EVs? Can't we get more efficiency if we use the traditional gear part ratios? See here in the electric vehicle, that is the one of the additional advantage. So you can get a vehicle speed at any range. If you choose the motor power if you choose the motor at rated specifications, then you can vary the motor power motor speed at any range with any torque value, right? That is the beauty of the electrical motors. Excel sheet you can get it from the internship portal. Yeah, thank you Surya, thank you Robin, thanks for your comment. use D space HIL for your hardware development. Yeah, actually, but we have not scheduled this HIL program, but in future we may use it actually. Can we use IoT in electric vehicle? Yeah, of course, you can use it. That is V2G, G2V is a completely IoT related concepts only. How memory concept will work? Please explain. See here, this memory block. See here, suppose if your value is high here, if it is a one value, just a second, I wrongly typed actually. Suppose if you are applying 1 and this output will be temporarily stored, this output temporarily stored in this memory block. So for the second sample time, so this one and memory value will get add together, and then it will give you the output. So finally, end of the period, this output, like the sum block output, always going to save in this memory block. So that's why we are getting 11th value. Yeah, how to accelerate the DC motor? I will give you the solutions. So now let us move to the DC motor. So just search the DC motor in the search bar, double click DC motor. In the Simulink environment, there are two different types. One is called Sim Power System block sets and then SimScape block sets. Sim Power System block sets will work only for the KVL KCL equations based on that. Whereas in the SimScape block sets will work with the physical relationship. Like there is a resistance and then inductance value, so it will capture all the exact physical value can be utilized in the simulations purpose. So that's why SimScape components are SimScape results will be more accurate than the Sim Power Systems results. So this is the DC motor. So now if you have a DC motor rating, so there are options. See here, there are the three different input by rated power, rated speed, and the no load speed. Generally, the manufacturer will give you these three informations. What is a motor power? If you are going to buy any DC motor, so the vendor will ask you what is a motor power and what is a rated voltage, what is the rated speed. So these three questions he may ask you. So you have to ready for that these questions. So just to choose this value, I am going to keep this no load speed about 4000 rpm, and the rated speed will be less than that value. So like generally it will be 80% of the no load speed. So I am going to keep it like a 3500 or 3000, whatever it may be. And the mechanical power, that is that wattage, HP or kilowatt or whatever it may be. So I am going to keep it 1 kilowatt. Suppose if you are having 1 HP, then in that case you have to apply 746 or something like that. The equivalent value will be there. That is horsepower conversions. And the DC rated voltage. So the DC rated voltage either 48 voltage or 100 voltage or 120 voltage or 200 voltage, whatever it is, you can apply. So my motor is going to run under 100 voltage. Right? So remaining thing, no need to apply anything. And see here, this is the motor is configured with the basic nameplate details. So now we have to apply a DC voltage. See here, again, just to take a DC voltage, just search DC voltage source. Oh, okay, this is Sim Power System block sets. Search DC voltage. Yes. So this is the block to get a DC voltage. See here, open this voltage. Again here one more block also there. You go to library browser. I forget the SimScape, electrical and sources. See here, you can identify the component. So take this block, remove this one and use this block. DC voltage source. So this block is common for AC voltage as well as the DC voltage. You can configure as per your requirement. Yeah, see here the DC voltage 100 voltage, and you no need to give the other inputs. So since it's a DC voltage, we are going to keep this one. So just connect. And now we have to add the electrical reference. Take a electrical ground. So this is the ground value. And now we have to add the mechanical reference. So as per our equations, see here the mechanical rotational reference component and then ideal rotational motion sensors to measure the motor speed. And similarly the solver configuration also needs to be added. Yes. So now just to take a rotational motion sensor. Rotational motion sensor. Just use the control R button to rotate the component, and similarly you can flip the component to use control I. You can flip it left to right, right to left. Just to connect R, and this is the port you have to connect here. And similarly mechanical rotational reference. Yeah, just take this one, mechanical rotational reference, connect here. So which means that the motor is going to be on the surface with the bed mechanisms. So this is the sensor output. Here we can verify the motor speed and then rotation, rotor position we can get with these two sensors. So now again we have to remove, we have to add the scope block. Just to search scope block, connect the scope. So since the scope is a Simulink, Simulink block set, so we have to connect with via the PS to Simulink converter. PS to Simulink converter. Yes, just to connect here like this. And angular rotation, position, no need to worry about it. So just add this solver configuration. Just add the solver configuration. Connect here. Yes. So now we have applied. Simply we took the motor with rated power and we have connected the rated voltage. Right. So now we are going to verify whether the motor is running under no load speed or not. Simply, if you are see, for example, if your motor is rated voltage is 100 voltage, if you are applying 50 voltage, so in that case what it will happen, the motor will not reach the no load speed. So now we are going to ensure that one. Yes, see here the 400 radian per second is going to be there. So if you convert it into RPM, then you can reach the 4000 RPM. So this is simply we are going to we are running this motor. See here in between these two part, we are going to keep a power electronic circuit to vary the voltage to get desired output voltage. See, for example, if you are using this value, here there is a unit, some unit will be there, radian per second, and then RPM also will be there. Forget, I will show you in the next demo. See here, see if the motor is running under that 400 radian per second, so in that case, yes, so in that case, suppose sometime you should run this motor at 300 radian per second or else 600 radian per second. So this is the motor control mechanisms. So now based on the driver input, the power electronic circuit to change the motor speed without any changes in the hardware. So this is called the PWM technology going to apply to get a variable output voltage. So here we are going to use the power electronic circuit in between these 2 points. So in between the voltage and then current, we can interface that power electronic circuit to achieve that one. So again here from the tomorrow classes, we are going to work on the power electronic circuits. So please try to engage with the entire classes. You can give you the complete idea about it. And again in this 30 days class, we have scheduled how to work with the DC motor, how to generate a control algorithm for the 4 quadrant operations like forward motoring, reverse motoring, forward braking, reverse braking, and then how the regenerative braking also it's working. So everything we are going to work on all the classes, I mean next forthcoming classes. So my request for you everyone, so please keep engaged with the entire 30-day classes to get more idea about these things. Yes, thank you, Mr. Gautam. If you have any questions, you can ask me. If you have any questions, you please ask me. Thank you, Adarva. Thank you, Sahil. Can you please compare with the real circuit in the EV? Yeah, we have a, I mean, this is just we have started the motor power electronic. So definitely we are going to work on the detailed power electronic circuits to keep engaged with the entire classes. Because here, I mean, different stream people are here. So we have to go step by step. Then only people can understand. My intention is actually to deliver the content with the proper explanation. Then only the your investing time is useful. Otherwise, it's simply waste of time. Battery management system specifications, it's there. Please wait for the please attend the battery management class so you can get it. Can we use a supercapacitor as a battery? Actually, you cannot completely replace. See, whatever you are generating the back power in the regenerative braking, so via the supercapacitor, you can transfer the power to the battery. Why solver configuration? So the solver configuration simply like a header file. If you want to add, if you want to use the Simscape components, then you have to add that solver configuration. Which toolbox I should install for the pulse generator? By default, if you install the Simulink toolboxes, then the pulse generator block are by default it will be there. We are not getting Excel in LMS portal. I have already registered for the internship. Mr. Sampath, you please check in the day 3 classes. The Excel sheets are there. So you just go to your LMS portal dashboard and access the dashboard. So there is a in the day 3 class I have given. Solver configuration is just like a header files. How we get how to get a DC motor? Just to open your workspace. Just open your workspace. Double click over the workspace. Just write DC motor. Yeah. So just choose the DC motor. Why ground is used? So the ground is the reference for the electrical side. So this is the electrical side, this is the mechanical side. So we have to give the reference input. How much sufficient sodium ion battery? See, actually your question is not clear, Mr. Vivek. What is the difference between EV and hybrid? So EV only, electric motor only going to be there. In the hybrid, IC engine also will be there. Just follow the method what I follow, what I used to identify the DC motor. If I want to run 2 BLDC with a 10 kilowatt power for 8 hours per day, where I can find the battery manufacturers in India? See, actually in the battery manufacturers, there are a lot of battery manufacturers are there. I will show you one. Actually, I have a vendor detail. Battery segment. Just a second. I will share. I will share you the battery segment. Basics. Easy supplier. Actually, I will share you the battery list of batteries manufacturers by email. I forget the name. There are a lot of, actually in the India there are a lot of battery manufacturers are here. So actually I saved the value also. Some battery. I will share you in the comment box. You please WhatsApp me. I will give you the supply details. This is my WhatsApp number 9840974408. I will give you the battery manufacturer. How to access the LMS portal site? Mr. Gautam, please visit Pantech e-learning. Please visit Pantech e-learning. Log in with your login credentials. So log in with your login credentials. Once if you're logged in, then you're in your dashboard. The courses tab will be here. See here, the courses tab will be here. I will show you, just a second. I will show you. Yeah. See here, just log in in your in this website. So you will get your login credentials. So use your login credentials to log in. Once if you logged in, then you will get your dashboard. So go to the there will be a dashboard like a certificate, a grade book, and then courses. Click here the courses. So you will get a electric vehicle courses. So in the electric vehicle courses, just go to curriculum. So there will be there will be all the classes will be here. So in the day one, you can identify the WhatsApp group link and all, everything is there. So you can access here. See the first class. Just a second. See here, the day one session, you can find the videos, and after the video watch, you have to select a complete and then finish, and you can go for the next one. Similarly, you can download here the day one presentations, and then MATLAB files, everything will be here. So daily basis, we will give you that one. And this is the VIP group link. You can access the VIP group link. Right? Are you clear? Yes. So now you can ask another questions. How to reduce time to reach vehicle highest speed from 0, like Venda said, and 0 to 10 kilometer in 3 seconds. See, actually here there is a formula to achieve the maximum time. So there are the 3 different cases. So one is called battery capacity, and another one is called motor power. First point is the motor power. See, while you take your motor calculations, if you want to reduce the time period, instead of the same power 1000 kg power with 40 kilometer per hour. Then suppose if you take this as a 40 kilometer is the rated speed, and this speed you should suppose if you want to reach within 8 seconds. So here this 7.7 kilowatt you have to supply to the motor instantaneously, right? So in that case the motor critical speed, like again here the motor speed and the torque must be lies between this power, and your battery should capable to deliver this amount of current while it is in the standstill position. So if you combine this two state scenario, then you can vary the acceleration time, right? So instead of 8 seconds you can reach again 5 seconds also. So again there will be some equilibrium. So this is for simple calculation. Suppose if you keep 1 second, if you are applying 61 kilowatt for the power requirement, if you are satisfying these conditions, then definitely in real time it won't work. So there will be some equilibrium state. So because the battery system will be different and the motor system will be different, and your vehicle the dynamic system will be the different. So all these three systems needs to be synchronized with each other to give you the stability. Otherwise the vehicle will get skid. So this is simple calculations to understand the variations of the motor power requirements. What is the difference between mechanical rotational and then ideal rotational sensor? See, actually mechanical rotational sensor, we are going to keep it as a tachometer. See, actually in the motor side we will use a tachometer to sense the motor speed. So that is called the mechanical rotational sensor. The ideal rotational sensor we are going to use in between these any two methods. I mean we can use that sensor in between any two element. I will show you in the vehicle dynamics sections. Can we connect the solver configuration anywhere in the circuit? Yeah, of course you can connect anywhere in the circuit. Sayash, sir, please, it's a request. Can you arrange a seminar regarding how to start a career in EV industry? Research work, personally, I don't know where to start. See here, Shreyas, I just ping me in WhatsApp. I will share you some documents to kickstart your research on the electric vehicle systems. Sir, is it possible to make a EV truck whether the same concept like EV cars? Yeah, of course, the theoretical concepts are same, but the power sources for the EV light vehicles like a two-wheeler, four-wheeler, three-wheeler, and then buses, till buses, lightweight buses, you can use it battery. Whereas if you are going for the multi-axles, the people are trying to incorporate the fuel cells, because the fuel cell can deliver huge amount of current with a lesser voltage. Yeah, thank you participants. Thanks for your valuable time. And if you have any more questions, you please submit the question Google form I have given in the video description, this video description box. So I will give you the answers by email. Thank you. Thanks for your valuable time. I hope you have enjoyed. If you feel this session gave you the clear idea about the power requirement and then basic MATLAB introductions, so please share your video feedback to my WhatsApp number. So it will help me a lot to improve myself. Thank you. Thanks for your valuable time. Any student can take this class, because the electric vehicle, this is the starting point to kickstart your career. Thank you once again.